Okay, hi, I'm Farida Okiko. I'm originally from Germany and Kenya. I'm just turned 33 years old. I've been living in Thailand and fighting out of Tiger Muay Thai for a couple of years now. And last year I joined the Tryouts and won a sponsorship for the Tiger Muay Thai team, the Muay Thai tryout team. And yeah, I've been here ever since. I've been training and fighting and was mostly focused on Muay Thai and K1, and now I've been transitioning over into MMA. As you can see behind me, we just finished MMA sparring today, and it's been great. I actually have my first MMA fight coming up next week, so I'm excited about that. With a good opponent. She's currently ranked number 2 in China, so it's kind of exciting. My debut against number 2 in China, but you know, go big or go home. Yeah.
Definitely. So you've been here for almost a year. You won the tryouts. Can you describe the benefit of winning the tryouts?
In what sense?
Like every sense, like as a fighter, like somebody that coming from another country to this country. Without the tryouts, you'd have to have your own money. Yeah. So kind of talk about how that benefited you for this whole year of having everything basically paid for.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely made such a big difference, and it had such a big impact in so many parts of my life. Because first of all, I wouldn't even be able to be training as much if I hadn't won the tryouts, if I didn't get the assistance Tiger Muay Thai gives you, as in the accommodation, the meal plans. That in itself is already quite a big help. And then on top of that, you know, you're part of a team. You're like, that makes quite a difference as well. Like you have people standing behind you and pushing you, and you see a lot more confidence and the solidarity of everything. You know, it can have a big impact on how you perform, how you see yourself, your confidence within training, and yeah, I can kind of look back and see the progress I've made, not just skill-wise or in technique, but as I see myself as a fighter. And I believe it's really just because of the opportunity I have been given, being able to stay here full-time, train full-time, be part of, you know, the whole Tiger Muay Thai family. And yeah, it's definitely been great. Made a big impact.
Where were you living before you moved over here?
Well, I've basically on and off been in Thailand for 9 years. Okay. But I guess the most recently, I had actually quit fighting. About 3 years ago, I had a really serious knee injury. I was barely able to walk, so I decided to stop fighting. I had a few more fights, actually, 2-3 more without any training because it was too hard to train. It hurt too much, but I decided I wasn't going to cancel the fights I had already planned, so I just did it. But it made the injury even worse, and so I ended up stopping. And I ended up going back to Germany, and I decided, well, okay, I think I was 30 at the time, and I figured, all right, I tried, you know, maybe this isn't for me. I need to focus on my career, think of the future. You know, I went back to the thinking I had originally intended to leave behind, you know, like the way things are supposed to go, especially coming from Germany. Things are quite strict, you know, on the path you're supposed to take in life. So yeah, I basically went back to that, and I thought I'd just focus on trying to build a future and a career and stuff, but it just didn't work out, you know. I really missed Thailand. I really missed the training and the lifestyle, and it was pretty much just impossible to start anything and actually feel the same amount of passion and peace with my life. Like, it was more exhausting to try than just come back, I suppose. Yeah, I just didn't feel fulfilled, you know. So when I first came back, about a year ago, I thought I would just train for fitness. I basically just figured, okay, I'd be happy just living in Thailand and just train for fitness, and I'd be okay. But as soon as I started training again, I was hooked immediately, and I thought I would do my best to overcome the knee injury and start fighting again. So it was a process of a couple months to regain back my confidence. I had gained 10 kilos from the time before. You know, I wasn't as confident in my skills. So it was a process to get back to believing in myself and believing that I could fight again. And yeah, then the tryouts came around, and I figured I'd just give it a go. You know, I figured, well, if I win, it's meant to be. If not, maybe not. And I won.
I guess it's meant to be.
It was meant to be. Yeah, I can't be happier. Like, it's it feels like it's what was supposed to happen, you know? Like, it may not be something that people back home may be happy with, or look at something as is the way to go, you know, but it makes me happy. I'm happy with the life I'm living here. I'm happy with where things are going, with how I feel, the people I'm around, how life is looking and the future is looking. So yeah, I couldn't be happier. I mean, I could probably, but yeah, I'm happy with how things are going.
Well, let's talk about your Muay Thai accomplishments. Could you break that down?
Yes. Well, I have. What do I have? It's I have a couple stadium titles, 4, I believe. I have world titles. I have in different weight classes, because over the years my weight has been going up and down. Or I fought higher than I'm supposed to fight, so I have. Most recently, I won in Hong Kong the WMC belt for 54 kgs. I have the WMC in 56, 57, and 59 kgs. I have the WPMF in 57 kg, I believe. And another one, I think that was, I defended that belt. WWPA, I believe, in 55. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and then the couple stadium titles, PK1, Shalom Stadium over here, Guangnan Stadium. Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, do you see MMA as a natural progression for you?
I do, yeah. Well, for one, it became hard to find fights in Muay Thai, because as your level gets higher, obviously the pool of fighters gets smaller. And around here, people know me, and they don't want to fight me necessarily. They don't want to risk losing, let's say that, you know, and there's a chance they could lose fighting against someone experienced. So yeah, I don't get fights around here, and it's been hard to get fights in China as well now these days. So yeah, that's why I went on to fighting in K1 and decided to try that out. And now MMA, I mean, I actually did want to fight MMA from the very beginning when I started Muay Thai. It's why I originally chose Tiger Muay Thai to come and train to, because they just offered everything, you know. I trained sword fighting as well, I'm going around. All the fitness classes here are amazing. So yes, I've been wanting to from the very start, but what I found was that it was just hard for me to learn all these different martial arts at the same time. So I decided to focus on one thing and become really good in that, and then progress and learn the other styles of jiu-jitsu and wrestling and whatever else I decided to do. So yeah, I ended up getting stuck in Muay Thai for a while because I loved it, and you know, I was racking up the titles, and the trainers were amazing, and everybody was so supportive, and it was just a really cool journey. So I forgot about MMA for a while, and now it just seems like the time has come. It's just here now.
You know, with all the accomplishments you have in Muay Thai, are you jumping into MMA like, hey, I'm going to accomplish the same amount that I did in Muay Thai and MMA? Is that the mindset you have? More, okay.
I actually believe, I mean, oddly enough, like from the very start, before I even came to Thailand and to Tiger, I somehow always believed I would be better in MMA than I would be in Muay Thai. So having started in Muay Thai was kind of just basically because I was in Thailand. You know, I figured this is, you know, Thailand is famous for Muay Thai. If I'm going to be here, I may as well try to become a master at that. but I've always just had this strong sense within myself that I would be better at MMA. I couldn't tell you why. It's just a feeling, you know. I mean, just along the gloves. In Muay Thai, these huge things, I'm usually not even able to close my fists, you know, close my hands. I tend to be like this, so it's difficult to find a way to punch and to move and to flex. And so with the smaller gloves, it's a lot more natural. You can move easier and more relaxed. There's not this pressure to fight a certain style like there is in Muay Thai. You can lose a fight in Muay Thai in Thailand because you're not fighting beautifully, because it doesn't look Thai style, you know. If you're more aggressive and you're really punching the other person, but their style is really smooth and really slick and it looks Thai style, they could win just because of that. So there's this pressure to have a certain style and to move a certain way, whereas in MMA, it's just freestyle. You can do whatever you want to do, however you want to move. I could blend all these styles that I'm learning and just follow my instincts, just follow my natural reactions in my heart, and you know, it feels, well, maybe not more like an art form, but definitely freer. So I'm excited to start developing my own style within MMA. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.